And California farmers may have convinced President Trump to rethink at least part of his immigration crackdown. He said today that farmers tell him that the aggressive sweeps of undocumented workers are affecting their livelihoods. The president said today that he plans to make unspecified changes to that policy. During a White House event, he said that farmers are being, quote, hurt badly by the raids. The president acknowledged that while some farm workers are not citizens, they are good workers and shouldn't be deported.
Go into a farm and you look, and people they've been there for 20, 25 years, and they've worked great, and the owner of the farm loves them and everything else, and then you're supposed to throw them out, and you know what happens? They end up hiring the people, the criminals that have come in, the murderers from prisons and everything else.
The president also said his order would cover leisure and hotel industries. His company owns 3 Trump hotels in the U.S. Coming up next, hope and healing in the midst of chaos. Community faith leaders come together in San Francisco today to show support for the immigrant community. Well, we now want to turn to a developing story. We are closely watching a federal court in San Francisco at this hour as a judge considers, quote, where the lines are drawn when it comes to President Trump and his use of the National Guard in Los Angeles. That hearing started at 1:30 this afternoon, and KTVU's Greg Lee is there with the very latest. And what's happening now, Greg?
Yeah, Claudia, good evening to you. After about 75 minutes of arguments, this judge said he would work to have an order out very soon. Even today, he hoped. This is why you see this large crowd of journalists gathered behind me. We're hoping to hear from the governor or his team once a ruling is issued, an order that has the potential for major implications.
I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary.
Captured in this video, filmed by Senator Alex Padilla's staff, you can see what appears to be plainclothes federal officers and FBI agents forcefully shoving the senator out of the conference room, taking him.
We apologize for that technical error. And at core of the issue here, Claudine, is that the state is arguing that the president went over his reach when he did not confer with the governor and went against his opposition in order to federalize the National Guard. Now, the attorneys for the Department of Justice and President Trump argued he's perfectly within his constitutional right to make that decision. That is the core of the argument, and what we expect an order from that judge this afternoon about where this case lies. And again, we expect major implications because we know that the potential for the National Guard to go to other cities where protests exist is part of the conversation as well. Claudine?
And do we expect immediate action after this decision, whether it goes one way or the other, and how people are really, I mean, we're kind of in a time crunch, not only with what's happening in Los Angeles, but certainly with the additional protests we are expecting this weekend.
And the judge acknowledged that. He said he understands there's an urgency to this. There needs to be an expeditious decision. And that was part of the discussion at the end of this court hearing with the attorneys from the two sides, the DOJ saying they would like to see a 48-hour stay if the court ruled in favor of the California DOJ. The California DOJ said we would like to see immediate relief if that's the decision because time is of the essence, especially with Marines arriving tonight and the National Guard already working in Los Angeles.
And Greg, can you go over how this order will come down so that, I mean, certainly everyone watching very closely and how we'll hear about what the judge finally decides?
Yeah, and this is part of the case, right, is that we are all following online, waiting for that order to come out through the internet because the judge will submit his order and his decision. Then it'll be posted to the website for the state, and that is how we will all find out. And then when we anticipate to hear from the governor or his team shortly thereafter.
Okay, we know you are watching it very closely for us, Greg. We appreciate that, and we'll stand by for any developments.